Guess what day it is? It's Thursday. So we have another Reddit with Friends, Carmen Fuentes here with a great story. But I am excited to have none other than Stephen Tyler Davis here on the, well, I was about to say on the set. At the table, yes. At the table, on Reddit with Friends table. How are you?
I'm great. I'm filled with holiday spirit.
Yes, I feel like somebody told you to wear the purple to match our background.
That's what I was going for. You know, the fantasy, we got the fantasy purple going on.
Yeah.
We're selling these at our show next week at the Holiday on the Boulevard, so I figured I'd rep our merch a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. I don't blame you. Look, I'm gonna need one of those too to get in the Christmas spirit.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. We got some tea going on with the Reddit story today.
Yeah, we might as well call this our Red Round Table talk, like the Smiths do on YouTube, right?
We're giving more advice around here. We're trying to help these people.
This one comes from the Am I Overreacting subreddit.
Okay.
They're asking if they're overreacting for taking a break from their boyfriend after he ripped through a whole turkey at family Thanksgiving.
Oh no.
What? I mean, we're already halfway through December, I think.
With the turkey.
We gotta let that one go.
I think they were sort of letting everything get through, and then they finally decided to post it. Okay. So they say, my boyfriend and I have been dating for almost 2 years, living together for 6 months now. I met him through my friend at a house party, and we just immediately hit it off. Okay. He was almost exactly like a guy I wanted, extremely tall and huge, witty with jokes, kind and well dressed, and he was absolutely buffed. We vibed throughout the party, exchanged numbers at the end. He's met my family a couple of times after we moved in together, and they just absolutely loved him. Now, they say loved, so I don't know what that means, right?
Oh, gosh.
So my grandparents host Thanksgiving dinner almost every year. We were both invited. Everyone was excited and happy to meet my boyfriend. It all seemed like they really liked him until we sat down for dinner. We said our grace, Grandpa carved the turkey, started to pass it around the table. It was a regular sized turkey like we have every Thanksgiving, enough to feed 12 and still have leftovers. And they had 10 at this year's Thanksgiving.
Safe.
Both of us were sitting at the end of the table next to Grandpa, so my boyfriend was the last one to get it. There was still a lot of it left because people only took a little bit and then they'd pass it around again if there was more, you know, later on, right? He placed it right next to him and started digging through the entirety of it. He was so profuse, as my nephew said later, gobbling it up.
Oh, wow.
I told him quietly to go easy, but he didn't listen. He started saying how good it was, and my grandma had a huge smile on her face.
Well, we gotta make if grandma's happy.
That's right. Keep grandma happy.
Yeah.
Compliments to the chef, right?
That's right.
He was eating just the turkey. And my grandpa said, boy, someone really likes turkey. Everyone laughed, but it got to a point where everyone was talking about it. And he didn't take any hints and just shrugged it off like a teenager.
Oh, wow.
My face turned red from the embarrassment, and I could see everyone judging us so hard. I could even hear my uncle and his wife make unfunny jokes about it. It was finished without anyone getting any seconds or leftovers.
What? He ate that whole turkey?
He ate the whole thing.
This is good.
Now, my boyfriend's a gym freak, okay? He spends a ridiculous amount of time and money working out, eating protein-rich meals, online courses, etc., right? He even has a set protein limit that he hits every day, sometimes over it, but never under. And he gets his protein from just the meals, no supplements, so he's used to having large meals. He said from the beginning he's a big guy, right? It's never been a problem with me, and I respect our way of living, if not love it. We cook together all the time. If I'm not in the mood, he happily makes the meal for me. He won't even let me contribute in grocery expenses. Because of him, I actually started eating healthy and feel a lot better about my lifestyle. Well, after dinner, we got into a fight while driving home. He said he'd been driving all day and didn't eat anything after breakfast, so he had to hit his protein, and that he wasn't enjoying it after some time, and he had to just shove it down the throat. I said if he was that hungry, I would have happily made him a meal after we'd gotten home, but now everyone in my family is going to talk about how just finished something made for the whole family. He thought that everyone took their share. He said, what? And got really mad and said that I was blowing us out of proportion and overreacting over the meal. I snapped at him, telling him, how am I overreacting if I'm just trying to communicate about what he did? It was an hour-long drive, so things got pretty heated. He kept saying how I'm calling him a pig for eating like that, and that I should probably get out of his life if it's such a problem because he believes he didn't do anything wrong and that he isn't going to change. So here's the big reveal. It got so bad that he dropped me at a gas station in the middle of the night.
Oh no!
Okay.
Don't make me get up and walk away from
It
this
takes
table.
a turn.
Oh no!
It takes a turn.
He said,
No.
think about what you did. I was terrified, collected myself to call an Uber to my sister's, sobbed the entire night, told myself after a week things would get clear. He hasn't texted me.
What?
I haven't texted him. I could see how I could have reacted differently, but I can't get over myself the fact that he just left me stranded in the middle of the night.
Are you kidding me?
The turkey bandit. He's gone.
That
What? I was not
now,
expecting that ending.
This is a whole nother conversation now. This isn't even about the turkey.
Yeah, I know. I had already
this
made up
is-
my mind.
Yeah.
And then that happened.
This isn't even about the turkey
So,
anymore.
am I overreacting or should I make things right?
Oh my gosh, I have to get myself together. I have to get myself together.
I was so excited about this. At first, it was like
Yeah.
a holiday fun story. Like,
Yeah.
remember the time when he
Yeah.
ate all the turkey? Ha ha ha.
You
Why did it have
let
to go
this
like this?
man drop you off, we would have been tussling on the side of the road. If you think you're about to leave me on the side of the road and I
No.
have to call an Uber, bawling my somebody would have been calling 911. I promise you. Somebody would have been calling 911 fooling with me. You're
Yeah.
not about to put me out on the side of the road because I'm sorry, y'all, we're on TV. What do you think, Steven?
It's an hour-long drive, so you know you're out in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, yes.
What?
Like literally, that is crazy.
This could have been a fun ha-ha family moment. Why does it have to go there?
Yeah. Okay. And then, so let me say this. Because this started off with the turkey, right? So, you know, my partner, he's a huge, what they call it, buff. He goes to the gym a lot. So the whole comment about, oh, I have to eat a lot, that is something I've truly had to learn. People who go to the gym, they burn a lot of calories. If you do a lot of weightlifting, you do need that protein. And so, yes, I understand homeboy needed to eat and catch up on his calorie deficit, whatever you call it.
Sure.
But then you still have to remember, I'm at someone else's house. I was invited here. I need to be respectful. There are other people at the table. This is a family event. I'm not in the comforts of my own home. If I want to tear this turkey up because I bought it, I cooked it, and I provided it, that's one thing. But he did cross a line on that. But she does not need to go back to him because he obviously doesn't care about her. He don't care about her safety. He doesn't care about her well-being.
No.
It's like, it's a, well, it's also too a respect
Don't
thing,
walk.
right?
Run.
They mentioned like the extended family was excited to meet him, so it was the first time, right? First interaction. You're in someone else's home. You got to respect the home, whether it's they don't want shoes worn inside the house, or you know, make sure you put the toilet seat down, whatever, right? But here's my thing. He's a big gym guy, right? Make sure he eats right, make sure he get. I thought calories don't count during the holidays.
This is true.
Is there not a time, like, can you not just like engorge and you know, overindulge for the day with other things? Get your serving of turkey, and, you know, get your side of mac and cheese, whatever else they're serving, right? And then can't you just work it off the next day? That's what a lot of people do.
And that sounded like gluttony a little bit.
A cheat meal.
Yeah.
Would be
That-
like,
that
if your
sounded
cheat
like
meal is
gluttony.
usually like on the weekend, like Saturday or Sunday, you could just move the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can we talk about Grandma? I mean, Grandma was happy.
Grandma was happy.
This is the best Thanksgiving ever for just a second. He was eating the turkey. Everybody loved it. Everybody got some.
Yes.
It was good. We could have just left it there.
Yeah.
Why is
But-
everybody acting a fool on Thanksgiving?
But then it was
that
like
table is dangerous.
That was
Some
all
stuff
he ate.
happens around that table.
And that was all no sides.
only ate the turkey.
We weren't trying
Not a roll.
Auntie Vicky's macaroni and cheese.
Green bean casserole was nowhere in
Green bean casserole
sight.
was just not an option. Only the turkey. And he admitted himself in the conversation that I guess eventually it didn't even start to taste good. Is that what he said?
He was like, I just got to
just
get the
selling
protein in. I'm just got to get it down.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Then try something else. Cleanse the palate with the mac and cheese, the candied yams, something.
Yeah.
Something.
But y'all, I cannot get over the fact that this man put that girl out on the side of the road. Are you crazy? Now, I don't know. I might be, what if it was the girl that put him out? Then what would you say? If the conversation got heated.
Well, we got to be fair. Your whole point was the fact that he left her at the gas station.
Yes, because you're a man leaving a woman on the side of the road.
Well, let's not start. We don't need to start that out. Equality, right?
We don't need to be leaving anybody on the
All's
side of the road.
fairness and love and war.
I
If you're gonna be mad
understand.
at him, you gotta
Yes.
be mad at her for leaving.
Okay, I don't condone that. I don't condone
Don't leave
anybody
anyone.
leaving anybody on the side of the road. That is not okay.
No.
But again, that is just wild to me.
Yeah, me too.
That I don't even know if I really have the words, but number one, she just does not need to probably even entertain that because
she gotta go.
as a partner, you don't care about her well-being, her safety, and then if she called a sister, or if I called my brother, the whole family rolling up. You know what I'm saying? The whole family is rolling up.
How do you come back from that? How do you even date after that?
You
like
can't.
you like go on a date and somebody's like, I like turkey. You're like,
I don't think. I really don't think you can
PTSD
reconcile
on that
that.
one, yeah.
I think we have a couple of seconds or 1 minute.
The
What's the comment?
comments agreed. It's like one person said, everything else aside, the fact that he left you at the gas station would be an immediate deal breaker, right?
Yes.
So another person said, yeah, the original poster really buried the lead with this one.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that,
Totally.
yeah, this went left.
I had my mind made up. I was ready to comment.
Someone else wrote, I used to eat 300 grams of protein a day when I was lifting. I would have never imagined parking an entire turkey carcass in front of me, in front of my significant other's family the first time we met. If protein is that important to you, don't expect someone that you just met to fulfill requirements beyond normal limits. That's on you. Plan ahead. If it's that bad where I drop your significant other off at the gas station in the middle of the night, the relationship was over that moment.
Yeah, I know neither one of you would ever do that. You would never do that to your fiance.
No.
You would never, if you were in a relationship, I don't know, but you would just never do that. So baby girl, run. Don't, as Steven said, run. Don't walk. And he put that turkey in front of him and went ham. That's sign number one, and the road is number two. No, ma'am. Thank you so much, Steven.
My pleasure.
This was fun. You came on a good day today.
I love spilling some tea with you now.
It is wild. Oh my gosh, wild cold turkey.